Testicling, 1, 2, 3. Testicling. Paul's Greek. I used to call him Testicles, the Greek god of fertility.
And this is how the video goes.
Oh, it's already on?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Sorry about that.
That's still going in.
That's why they make editing software.
I've got, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but because I don't have a computer, I can't be as fancy with it. But I've got some basic software for that it works okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to convey the story of our brewing, not become like multi-billionaire YouTubers.
Yeah, I don't see myself being a billionaire anytime soon.
It's just a small group of people anyway that are watching, you know? Like even, I thought that if I was going to start a YouTube channel that I would get like 1 million views and I would start getting paid and all that stuff. If you look at the guys that have the channels that have a lot of viewers, they only have like 40,000 subscribers. They don't have 1 million subscribers. Because there's only 40,000 people in the world that brew beer that are interested in watching their videos.
Yeah.
You know? I think the guys that play video games and stuff have more viewers. So what's going on?
Not much. It's not hot outside. If I had room in my fermentation chamber, I probably would have brewed today.
What's wrong with the space in your fermentation?
The Firmzillas are a little bit too big around to fit something else next to it without building a platform.
How many do you have in there?
I just have the Firmzilla in there right now, just the one. I tried fitting my big mouth in there because it's a little bit narrower, and that one didn't fit either.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's build a platform.
I'm going to.
You got plywood and stuff? I got scraps all over the place.
Yeah, I probably have enough crap laying around the shed and stuff that I could build a collar.
I got stuff right there.
Yeah, because if I take the 2x6s I'm going to use and take another 2x4 and sink that in to the chest freezer, and I can put my 2x6s on top of that, then I'll have almost 8 inches of collar space.
You got 8 inches?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's what she said.
That's a lot.
That's also what she said.
I got 3 inches, but some women don't like it that wide.
And I do think I'm going to take that refrigerator that's in my screen room, and I don't think I'm going to put taps back in the door. I think I'm just going to have picnic taps inside because then they won't get all moldy and nasty and shit. You know, anything that sits outside wants to collect.
That's
stuff.
why I moved that kegerator from there to inside the house. I had it out here to go because it was army theme.
Yeah,
you know, but it's too hard to regulate the temperature when it's 100 degrees in the garage in the summertime, and you're trying to keep beer at 40. All the taps are sweating and everything.
Yeah. See, I never had a real problem with that in my other garage. I mean, and it would get good and hot, but my taps never got nasty. That's why I didn't mind having them in the door. But here, you know, it's essentially outside for all intents and purposes and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it fucks everything up that you leave outside.
You can't say that.
I just did.
Beep. I had to beep you out on that video where we went to Southern Brewing.
Yeah. I got to get the dolphin sound.
No, get a sound of a beer can opening. Whoosh. Yeah, man, this is cool. You're turning into me.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to be
Well,
me.
it was kind of, I don't want to call it by accident because that's not really the right term for it. But when I was making my order on AliExpress, I needed one more item to get that new subscriber discount.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the microphone
That's
because
awesome.
it was $3.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I paid like $23 on Amazon
Yeah.
for it. $3.
Like 363 or
And you
something like
you
that.
tested it out to make sure it works good?
Yeah. Works fine. Works just like the one you got. Matter of fact, I'd be willing to bet you could take your microphones that you have and it would probably sync to that. And you could
I
have
got
up
them in here.
and you could have up to 4 microphones.
Really?
And
It's exactly the same
yeah,
one as me.
because it doesn't. And I actually did read the instructions for once,
Yeah.
and it says nothing about a maximum limit of microphones that you can have attached to one of those.
You know, here's what America wants you to think. They want you to think that China is making knockoffs of American stuff. Like that's why it's cheaper. Buy American. But in all reality, all the business people are buying the China stuff,
Bringing it over here,
bringing it over here, and reselling it to us at 5 times what they paid for it.
right?
And they're billionaires, millionaires, and billionaires, and we're getting ripped off.
Even if that won't support 4 microphones, I'm willing to bet that mine has that charging port on the side. You could probably plug another one into it and just keep blowing it out as far as you needed to. You know, you'd wind up with something like this long if you absolutely had to.
I wonder if is that like USB-C?
Yeah.
I wonder if they make a USB-C like splitter or a thing that has 5 ports that goes to 1.
Yeah.
You know, so you can hook multiple transmitter receivers on there and all going through one.
I'm sure.
We're gonna find out right now if mine work on it because I got them in here.
Okay.
That I've been wanting to know that myself.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I wondered about.
Yeah. Ooh-wee.
I mean, you should just be able to take the trans. Yeah.
They might have different frequencies.
I did think about that.
It's still flashing red green, right?
Yeah.
See, it's not connecting.
So I wonder if your thing will plug into that and then these will work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we had some kind of splitter.
It's got a port on the side. I don't remember which end it's on. Here. Oh, you've got a iPhone port.
Yeah, that's an iPhone. What kind of port is it?
It's a USB-C.
USB-C.
Yeah.
So we need a female iPhone to USB-C male cord. Yeah. Well, shit, for $3, you should have bought like a dozen of them and sold them to people on eBay. You'd be making a killing.
That thought did cross my mind.
Oh, I thought about doing that too. Buying
so they're
stuff
not gonna.
over there.
They're not syncing up to it.
No, it's not syncing.
I wonder
up.
if it'll only support 2 at a time. Then
I'm wondering if this iPhone one is a different frequency just because it's a different type of phone.
It makes sense.
Like if you got 2 of those, if the 4 would sync.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be a good experiment. Did you get these hairy muff things for your?
No, mine didn't come with it.
Yeah.
I don't really think I'll be using it.
I don't like my
Often.
microphones hairy. I like them shaved.
Just like my women.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we're still recording.
I'm not into all that big bush on the end of my microphone.
Even though it feels good.
Yeah. Hold.
Kind of like riding a moped. You don't want your friends to find out.
Man, I had a moped in high school. Thing was badass.
I had one
I
until
also had a Camaro.
Yeah.
I had the moped from when I was younger. When I was like 12, I got a speeding ticket on my moped. I was doing 34 and a 30 in my neighborhood, and the cop pulled me over, and I had to go to court. He didn't give me a ticket to pay money. He gave me a notice to appear, and I had to go to court. And the judge made me write a 10-page essay on uh, moped safety, because he just wanted me to be safe, you know,
Yeah. No.
like the benefits of wearing a helmet and doing the speed limit.
I used to get caught riding my four-wheeler through town. Just like everybody else did. You know, when you grow up in a small town like I grew up in.
Why was everyone riding your four-wheeler through town? They didn't have their own?
No, I rode mine. I had one.
You said you were riding your four-wheeler like everyone else was.
Everyone else that had a four-wheeler.
Oh. I thought the whole town was riding your four-wheeler around.
I used to ride it to school.
Just uphill both ways?
No, mine was actually downhill, but then it was uphill on the way home. That house doesn't even exist anymore. I saw updated Google Maps the other day. Like, that kind of hurts.
Where was that at?
That was
in Ohio?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Same thing. They both start with an O.
It doesn't smell the same, I promise.
I went to Oklahoma one time, well, 2 times. They have the National Center for Employee Development over there, NCED, out in the middle of nowhere. It's just surrounded by...
It was right outside the Army base, wasn't it?
Norman.
Okay.
It was in Norman, Oklahoma. Out, surrounded by cow fields.
I'm sure none of those cow fields exist anymore.
And when we flew into that place and looked down through the window of the airplane,
there was nothing there.
All the ground was red, like red clay.
That kind of like being up in parts of Georgia.
I mean, red.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous. It's like...
Yeah. Yeah, we could tell when people had gone out around Oklahoma City, because they would come back and like your whole side of your truck on both sides would have red dust on it.
Red dust all over the place. Yeah.
And you don't even really have to go all the way to Oklahoma City to see that from where I grew up.
This was a giant training center. It had a hotel and everything right there on site. It was like a campus, but it's owned by the federal government.
Yeah, because I think MEPS was there too.
And they would send people from all the different agencies there for technical training, even like computer training and air conditioning. And
I think that's where the MEPS building was too. Was right around there somewhere.
Maybe. But I remember we'd ride into town to try to get some beer, and the liquor store was owned by the state. And you couldn't buy anything more than 3.2.
Yeah,
beer.
It was like that all the way up until like 2010 or something. I don't remember exactly what year it changed, but it was after I moved away from there, because everybody was getting stupid on beer all of a sudden. Like, I've been drinking Budweiser my whole life. Like, you haven't been drinking that Budweiser your whole life. You've been drinking this piss water that they've been feeding you.
Yeah, they take one Budweiser, add water, 12 ounces of water, and they recan it and make 2 cans out of it.
I remember one time I had gone to Oklahoma to visit family, and this guy that my sister was seeing at the time, he's like, you want to go shoot some pool? Because I actually like this kid. You know, out of all the people my sister's ever dated, this is like one of the few guys that I actually liked. Yeah, fuck, let's go. So we hopped in his truck and we hauled ass down to the bar and we're shooting pool. And he goes, I'll buy the first couple of rounds. I'm like, okay. Got a beer. This was before I started brewing and everything. I was really just kind of starting to get into craft beer. And I drank a Budweiser because, you know, he was paying for it, so I wasn't going to argue. Sat there, drank it.
Back in the day,
Got the second
Budweiser
one.
was good beer.
Got the third one. Got the fourth one. Like I said, drinking Oklahoma beer, so it was 3.2% at the time. He's like, man, you're going to get fucked up. I was like, boss man, I've been drinking real beer for the last 10 years. Like, this, like, it's going to take a lot more than these to get me messed up. And I wound up having to drive him back to the house because he got totally shit faced on 3.2% beer. And I'm just like,
Well, when
it was nice. It was okay, but you know,
yeah.
I didn't even have a buzz.
So let's see. I've been retired for 7 years now,
Rub it
and
in.
I did 23 years. So that's 30 years ago. And I went to Norman on my 7th year. So 23 years ago
Yeah.
is when I was there for that. No, it wasn't even 7 years. That was when I got into management. It was 5 years. So 29 years ago. What number did I say?
You said 23. So been that many beers already?
Yeah, this beer's good.
Yeah, it is.
It was what did I say? I've been retired 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I did 23 years, so that's 30 years ago. And in my 5th year, I went to Norman, Oklahoma, so that's 25 years ago.
That was nice.
Oh, you farted.
No,
You better not be farting in the brewery.
no, there's a
Contaminate my fermentation.
decent looking woman in a dress that picked up her sign over there, and I was looking.
I thought you were raising
No.
your ass cheek up.
No,
there.
I'm sitting there like, I'm watching the ass walk across.
Well, you are known for gas.
Well, I know. I've got the T-shirt to prove it.
I know you do.
I've got 2 of them.
I know you do. And the memes and the videos and
And I'm
everything
wearing
else.
one of them when I get on the plane to go to New York this summer.
Why would anyone want to go to New York?
I actually like my wife's family. They're pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well,
Plus, I'm going for somebody's surprise 40th birthday.
they don't know they're turning 40?
They don't know we're doing a party for them yet.
Oh, okay. Surprise! It's your birthday. Well, I didn't know it was my birthday.
I'll probably cut that part out so he doesn't find out because I think he actually watches the 1 or 2 videos.
Yeah, you better not be watching this, whoever you are.
I'm gonna send beer up there with Jill for it. He goes,
Can some beer.
I'm gonna send a whole keg.
Oh, shit.
I don't want to use up all your cans.
You know what's good? You got to get yourself some of those half kegs.
I've got a couple of them.
You can mail that. Just don't tell them.
Jill's driving up there, so I'm just gonna put it in the car with her.
You know, in the post office, people would mail 5-gallon buckets.
Mm-hmm.
You could take one of those mini kegs, put it in a 5-gallon bucket, stuff newspapers all around it so it doesn't move in the bucket.
Right.
Slap the lid on it, duct tape the lid, put a mailing label on it, and mail it.
Yeah.
Because the post office requires you to have liquid in 2 containers. So put the keg in a trash bag.
Yep.
Tie a knot
There's
in
one
it.
container.
Put it inside the bucket. Stuff paper all around it. Put the lid on it. Duct tape it. Ship it. You could ship a whole 2.5-gallon keg somewhere. And it wouldn't really cost that much if you did it way ahead of time, so you could use, normal shipping and not any express or anything.
But yeah, like I said, Jill's driving up there, and then before she comes home, I'm gonna fly up, go to the party, go do some stuff in New York, and then we'll drive home together. And I'll stop by my friend's house in Virginia because he lives in Roanoke. Stop and see him for a couple days, and then drive the
You
rest
need
of
to
the way
go
home.
see Roanoke Rapids while you're in that area.
I've seen that before. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, it's nice. They got whitewater rafting and stuff.
Mhm.
I'd like to take our grandson up there.
I've seen it. I haven't actually done it. You know, that's something that, you know, if I had more time on this trip,
Yeah.
I would go do it. But there's not really enough time. I want to go to the Virginia Museum of Transportation again because that's pretty cool. That's where it's in Roanoke. And there's one whole wing where it's all like movie cars and show car, you know, from different TV shows, um, among other cars that they have scattered around in this one big room, and those cars rotate in and out. So like the stuff I saw the last time I was there,
It'll be all new stuff.
it's going to be almost all new stuff. There's some of those cars are there permanently, but most of them in that wing, most of them rotate in and out.
And does it go all the way back to like the first car ever made, or is it just?
It goes back pretty far because there's a whole old school service station theme in one part where they have a Model T up on an old school looking lift, like somebody was working on it.
Yeah,
it's kind of
cool.
it's neat looking.
That's awesome.
And then
I like those old gas pumps,
but it's like it's
glass,
like
filled with gas.
Well, they have some of those in parts of the museum, but it's all transportation. It's cars, trains, and a little bit of aviation, but not much. And I think it's really because they just don't have the physical room outside.
So it's the original older type transportation.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can go through the whole building and do all kinds of cool stuff. And then all the trains are out back. You know, like big steam locomotives and diesel electric locomotives through all the years. And I don't know if they're still set up like this, but like every so often there was a little set of stairs and a platform where you could kind of like look in the back of it.
Well, this is going to be a good beer video because we're just packing this thing with beer related information.
And there's a few breweries in Roanoke.
Oh, okay, now we're talking.
You know,
I'm out of beer. I got to go get a refill.
Oh, I'm not.
I got to check the pizza to make sure the house could be on fire right now. For all I know, I've had 2 of these things, and they're like good. It's strong. I think it's probably 6% or more.
My wife doesn't know it yet, but we're going to stop at a brewery on the way to Roanoke. and my inner 12-year-old comes out every time I try to say this name of this brewery. It's called Licking Hole Creek Brewery in Goochville, Virginia. I can't make this shit up if I try.
I've heard words similar to those before.
Yeah. My inner 12-year-old.
I smell the pizza. Let's make sure we're not black. You like your pizza blackened?
Just like I like my women.
Like blackened grouper? Oh, yeah.